Hello, welcome to Life Quotes, channel where you find quotes from interesting people. I believe that imagination is stronger than knowledge, that myth is more potent than history, that dreams are more powerful than facts, that hope always triumphs over experience, that laughter is the only cure for grief, and I believe that love is stronger than death. Robert Fulghum. Instead of worrying about what you cannot control, shift your energy to what you can create. Roy T. Bennett. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Haruki Murakami. If you're reading this, congratulations, you're alive. If that's not something to smile about, then I don't know what is. Chad Sugg. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. John Milton. When I was 5 years old, my mother always told me that happiness was the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment, and I told them they didn't understand life. John Lennon. Always do what you are afraid to do. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. William Shakespeare. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Arthur Schopenhauer. Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. Roy T. Bennett. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Martin Luther King Jr. The world is indeed full of peril, and in it there are many dark places. But still there is much that is fair, and though in all lands love is now mingled with grief, it grows perhaps the greater. J.R. Tolkien. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions? Who spends himself in a worthy cause? Who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Theodore Roosevelt. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Martin Luther King Jr. It is so hard to leave until you leave, and then it is the easiest goddamn thing in the world. John Green. Fantasy is hardly an escape from reality. It's a way of understanding it. Lloyd Alexander. Never let your sense of morals prevent you from doing what is right. Isaac Asimov. Waiting is painful. Forgetting is painful. But not knowing which to do is the worst kind of suffering. Paulo Coelho. If you remember me, then I don't care if everyone else forgets. Haruki Murakami. Accept yourself, Love yourself and keep moving forward. If you want to fly, you have to give up what weighs you down. Roy T. Bennett. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Martin Luther King, Jr. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. George Orwell.
If reading makes you happy, do it. Whatever makes your heart sing and brings you joy, do that too. C. Tony Graham.
When you have eliminated all which is impossible, then whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Arthur Conan Doyle. Believe in yourself. You are braver than you think, more talented than you know, and capable of more than you imagine. Roy T. Bennett. Prayer is not asking. It is a longing of the soul. It is daily admission of one's weakness. It is better in prayer to have a heart without words than words without a heart. Mahatma Gandhi. I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born, and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. Mark Twain. And in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. Paul McCartney. Simplicity, patience, compassion. These three are your greatest treasures. Simple in actions and thoughts, you return to the source of being. Patient with both friends and enemies, you accord with the way things are. Compassionate toward yourself, you reconcile all beings in the world. Lao Tzu. But I know somehow that only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. Martin Luther King, Jr. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. Robert Louis Stevenson. First they ignore you, then they ridicule you, and then they attack you and want to burn you, and then they build monuments to you. Nicholas Klein.